Hey there, future millionaires! Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to have you here with me today. No matter where you are in this amazing world of ours, I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. Today, we're diving deep into XRP, and I've got to share this incredible analysis from Ash Crypto. May he rest in peace. His technical insights were always spot on, and this one's no different. Now, here's what's happening in the market right now. Everyone and their grandmother is trying to predict what's next. You've probably heard it too. Tomorrow's the big breakout, or this weekend's going to be huge for crypto. Sound familiar? But here's the reality check we all need. Every single time the market starts looking promising, what happens? One tweet, one statement from a political figure, and boom, Bitcoin takes a nosedive, dragging the entire crypto market down with it. This is exactly why I have my doubts about Bitcoin being the ultimate store of value everyone claims it is. When Bitcoin sneezes, the whole market catches a cold. Let's be honest here. Nobody, and I mean nobody, can predict this market with 100% accuracy right now. Anyone who tells you otherwise? Well, they're probably trying to sell you something. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse slams Wall Street banks for fighting crypto access to Fed master accounts. Take a listen to this.
One of the things I would ask everyone to do, both reporters and otherwise, is to hold traditional finance accountable for, yes, I agree, the crypto industry should be held to the same standard around AML, KYC, OFAC compliance. Yes, yes, yes. And we should have the same access to infrastructure like a Fed master account. You can't say one and then combat the other. Like that's disingenuous, and it's hypocritical, and I think we all should call them out for being anti-competitive in that regard. So that's kind of one thought of just there should be a level playing field.
So here we go again. Brad is calling for a level playing field. And you know what? I'm totally on board with this. Think about it for a second. Traditional finance wants to pull crypto under their umbrella, right? They want us to follow all their banking rules and jump through all their regulatory hoops. But here's the thing. If we're going to play by their rules, then we should get the same benefits they do. And that means crypto companies should have access to Fed master accounts, just like the big banks. It's only fair, right? Now here's where it gets exciting. From everything I'm seeing, it looks like Ripple might actually get this access way sooner than we expected. I'm crossing my fingers that we'll see this happen before the end of 2025. Can you imagine what that could mean for the entire space? This could be a total game changer. This comes from the National Cryptocurrency Association. October is also Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Awareness, education, clear resources, and confidence. Refresh your online security habits with the helpful guides on our website. So they're saying lockdown entry points start with the accounts you visit every day. Turn on two-factor authentication for every exchange, wallet, and recovery email. Verify URLs. I tell people to do that all the time, and ignore those shady emails that you get from these scammers as well. All right, let's talk about keeping your crypto safe. And I mean really safe. This is crucial stuff, so pay attention. First up, hot and cold storage. Think of a hot wallet like your everyday checking account. It's an app or browser extension that stays connected to the internet. Perfect for those smaller day-to-day things. Grabbing coffee, making small trades, or splitting the dinner bill with friends. Super convenient, but you don't want to keep your life savings there. Now, for the big money? That belongs in cold storage, my friends. This is where your private keys stay completely offline until you physically plug in your hardware wallet. Much safer. Here's something super important. When you set up your hardware wallet, you'll get what's called a seed phrase. This is usually 12 to 24 words that act like the master key to your entire wallet. Even if you lose your hardware device or completely forget your password, this phrase can save you. But listen carefully, you must handwrite this phrase. Never, and I mean never, take a photo of it with your phone. I can't stress this enough. Write it down by hand and store copies in 2 separate secure locations. I'm talking about a fireproof safe at home and maybe a bank safety deposit box. Speaking of fire safety, if you've got a decent hardware wallet like a Ledger, seriously consider investing in a fireproof safe. The last thing you want is to lose your crypto because of a house fire. Trust me on this one. Okay, here's a golden rule that could save you thousands. Always test before you trust. Let me paint you a picture. Blockchains are absolutely ruthless when it comes to typos. Just one wrong character in a wallet address and poof, your money disappears into the digital void forever. There's no customer service to call, no undo button. It's gone. So here's what smart crypto users do, and you should too. Whenever you're sending to a brand new address, start small. Send just a tiny test amount first. I'm talking like $5 or $10. Wait for that confirmation to come through, make sure the person on the other end actually receives it, and then send the full amount. Trust me, spending 1 extra minute on this could save you from making an irreversible mistake that haunts you forever. Now let's talk about keeping everything up to date. You know how your phone constantly bugs you about updates? Don't ignore those. Phone makers are fixing security bugs to keep your information safe. Wallet apps are getting stronger to stop hackers in their tracks, and those hardware wallets? They're getting updates to protect against the latest scammer tricks. Here's my advice. Set your laptops and phones to install updates automatically overnight. Easy peasy. And every few weeks, plug your hardware wallet into its dashboard just to check for firmware updates. Oh, and here's something most people forget. Clean out those old browser extensions. Those abandoned plugins? Sometimes attackers take them over, looking for an easy way onto your machine. Don't give them that shortcut. Let's talk about protecting your keys and phrases, because honestly, the number of people who lose these things is absolutely mind-blowing. I've seen it happen over and over again throughout the years. Someone gets into crypto, they're all excited, but then what happens? They either lose their seed phrase or they misplace their entire wallet. Don't be that person. The solution is actually super simple. Just keep everything in a safe, secure place where you always know exactly where it is. I'm talking about both your wallet and your seed phrase. Pick a spot, stick with it, and always know where your stuff is located. Now, here's something I probably sound like a broken record about, but I'm going to keep saying it because it's so important. Stay skeptical of anything that sounds too good to be true. You know what I always tell you, right? If something sounds too good to be true, then guess what? It is too good to be true. You've got to stay on your guard because the moment you let your skepticism slip, you're going to fall victim to one of those fake AI videos. You know the ones. They'll have a deepfake Brad Garlinghouse promising free airdrops or claiming they'll double your bag. Those scammers will clean out your crypto faster than you can blink. And finally, keep reviewing your account activity regularly and never stop learning. The crypto space moves fast, and staying informed is your best defense. Look, if you're going to be a crypto investor, you've got to commit to always keep learning. But let me share some essential knowledge that could save your portfolio. Here's what drives me absolutely crazy. People get so careless with their crypto, and then the moment something goes wrong, suddenly it's everyone else's fault. I can't tell you how many times I've heard this story. Oh no, I lost all my crypto because some random guy in my DMs convinced me to move my funds from one wallet to another. Come on, people. Here's the golden rule that will save you every single time. Always go to the source. Want to know something about your hardware wallet? Go directly to Ledger's official website or support. Have questions about any wallet? Contact their official support channels. But whatever you do, do not post your questions on X and just hope some kind stranger helps you out. Why? Because that helpful person sliding into your DMs is probably a scammer who's been waiting for exactly this opportunity to steal your crypto. I know it might seem like common sense, but you'd be shocked how many smart people fall for this. The scammers are getting really, really good at what they do, so your best defense is going straight to official sources every single time. Trust me on this one. A little extra caution now could save you thousands later. Listen, I want all of us to get rich together. But we can only do that if you keep your crypto safe. That's the foundation of everything we're building here. Now, let me blow your mind with some numbers that just came out. Are you ready for this? Gold just hit a market cap of $30 trillion for the first time in history. That's absolutely insane. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is sitting at just $2.1 trillion. You know what this tells me? You're not bullish enough. Seriously. Think about it. There's all this money just sitting in gold right now. And I genuinely believe that a huge chunk of it will eventually rotate into crypto. It's just a matter of time. Don't get me wrong, gold is absolutely crushing it right now, and I've got to give credit where credit is due. But when you look at these numbers side by side, it really puts things into perspective about just how much room crypto still has to grow. This is why I'm so excited about our future together. We're still so early in this game, and the potential is absolutely mind-blowing. All right, so Smoke just dropped some serious knowledge that explains exactly why gold has been absolutely skyrocketing lately. Pay attention to this because it's huge. Here's the inside scoop. As of July 1st, 2025, something massive changed in the banking world. Gold officially became classified as a Tier 1 high-quality liquid asset under something called Basel III banking regulations. Now, what does that actually mean in plain English? It means that U.S. banks can now count physical gold at 100% of its market value toward their core capital reserves. Let me say that again. 100% of its market value. This is absolutely game-changing because before this, banks couldn't use gold this way, but now, they can treat it just like cash when it comes to their reserves. And that, my friends, is the real reason why gold has been pumping like crazy. It's not just speculation or fear, it's institutional demand on a massive scale, because banks now have a regulatory green light to load up on gold. Pretty wild when you understand what's actually happening behind the scenes, right? This is why staying informed about these regulatory changes is so important. They move markets in ways most people never see coming. Okay, so here's what's really happening behind the scenes, and this is absolutely fascinating. You see Russia and China just accumulating gold like there's literally no tomorrow. I mean, they're buying tons of it, and everyone keeps talking about how we're in some kind of Bitcoin race with these countries. But here's the reality check. We are not in a Bitcoin race at all. These countries honestly don't care about Bitcoin. What they're actually planning is way bigger. Here's what I think is coming next, and this could change everything. Russia and China are positioning themselves to launch currencies that are backed by actual gold. And when that happens, the rest of the world is going to have to follow suit because if they don't, the US dollar could lose its reserve currency status. Now here's where it gets really interesting for us crypto investors. Imagine this scenario. Russia has a gold-backed currency, China has one, India has one, and so on. But what happens when Russia wants to send money to China? You're going to need a bridge currency to move these gold-backed currencies around the world seamlessly. And you're also going to need a trust layer to make sure everything goes smoothly. This is exactly where XRP could come in. Picture this. Russia's currency goes into XRP, travels across the network, and comes out as China's currency on the other side. XRP works as both the bridge and the trust layer. And that, my friends, is what makes XRP so incredibly important as we're pushing into this new digital world. It's not just about payments, it's about being the infrastructure for the next generation of global finance. But people just aren't going to figure that out until it's too late. You all get it because you're XRP investors. And Terra Capital founder Dan Moorhead says, "I think crypto is the only inevitable trade I've ever seen, that blockchain will change the world." Take a listen.
So the reason I love this trade and the reason I have so much conviction is I think it's the only inevitable trade I've ever seen. That blockchain will change the world. And it is, they might go through cycles, it might go down 85%, and it's done that 3 times, but it is just inevitable. It's going to happen. And that's totally different than every other trade I've done. I was joking with my friend Mike Novogratz that we've been trading 40 years, and dollar yen hasn't moved more than 20 points from 120 the whole time. It's never gone anywhere, right? And so those trades are 51.49 or whatever. Like, if you're in a trade like that that's going against you, I don't know if you can hold on to it because, like, it's who knows where it's going. Blockchain will be, I think, like 10x higher in 5 years than it is today. And so when it goes down to 85%, yeah, it's not fun. It's not, you don't feel smart. It's not fun, but it really will. I think it's inevitable that it will do well. And so that's what we try and encourage our investors to hold as long as they can.
This is exactly why I always preach this golden rule. When you invest in crypto, never sell your entire bag. Look, taking some profits along the way, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Smart investors do it all the time. But here's what you need to understand. Over time, crypto is only going to keep climbing in value. Just look around. We're already seeing adoption happening, and we're still at such a low level. Can you imagine what's going to happen when we get full-blown institutional adoption? Cryptocurrencies like XRP, XLM, and XDC are going to go absolutely parabolic. And here's something huge that's still on the horizon. Digital trade is coming, whether people realize it or not. That's why I'm always telling you to make sure you're holding a decent bag of XLM too. You want to be positioned when digital trade starts going live all around the world. Now, I know a lot of people give up on XLM and sleep on it, but think about it this way. Sure, Ripple and XRP are going to capture a massive chunk of that big institutional bank money, and that's incredible. But here's what people forget. There's also a hell of a lot of money in person-to-person payments, and that market is absolutely massive too. When that space really takes off, it's going to bring some serious real-world value to XLM. The key is positioning yourself across these different use cases, because the crypto revolution isn't just happening in one area. It's happening everywhere.
And honestly, I could keep going down this list all day. Take QNT, for example. It's actually more scarce than Bitcoin, but here's the kicker. It has massive utility. This thing is literally going to be the glue holding our entire new financial system together. Now, let me share some breaking news that just happened. On October 14th, 2025, Ripple's 50 address received its first 10 million euros from RCB, and these are MiCA-compliant stablecoins in an RLUSD swap. This came right after they set up a trust on October 6th at the exact same Ripple address where they're also storing 179.5 thousand OUSG. And guess what? That's coming from SocGen. Remember that stablecoin we were talking about way back in June? Here's what's really exciting about this. You're going to see a whole parade of different stablecoins running across the XRP ledger. We're not just talking about RLUSD here. There are going to be multiple stablecoins from different institutions. And here's the beautiful part. As all these stablecoins start moving around the world, the value of XRP is still going to keep climbing. Why? Because XRP is the fuel that powers all these transactions. Every time these stablecoins need to move globally, they're going to need XRP to make it happen seamlessly. It's like owning the toll road that everyone has to use. The more traffic, the more valuable your position becomes.
Ripple co-founder Chris Larson on his experience collaborating with institutions and banks with XRP. I've seen more opportunity to serve banks, work with the banks. We're entirely enterprise-focused. Banks are our main customer. Take a listen.
To know what your experience has been like with Ripple, how banks have actually reacted to you, and what kind of pushback you've seen from institutions. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's a very interesting industry where you have both kind of ultra-libertarians trying to blow up the world's financial system and kill the banks and all that, and that's certainly where it started. But at the same time now, what we're seeing, I've never seen more opportunity to serve the banks, work with the banks. I mean, we're entirely enterprise-focused. Banks are our main customer. We have about 100 banks that we work with all around the world. And so I think you can come at this a lot of different ways. I would say, don't mix politics and technology. And so kind of this libertarian streak, applying that to a product offering, I think that's frankly a recipe for failure. And what are we trying to do here? We're trying to impact the world in a positive way. You're going to have greater impact by working with the banks. All the banks in the world now, they know the systems of moving value cross-border are antiquated. It doesn't work in a world where you have apps that work with billions of people instantly. So every bank in the world knows we need to be able to move value like information. I think everybody understands this is the missing link in globalization. We have interoperability in data and shipping goods, but not in money. And that's absolutely key to get right. So you can make a huge impact on the world. You can be incredibly successful by working with the banks and the incumbents. And particularly in finance where, this is about bringing three really difficult domains, tech, compliance, and capital together. You could argue banks are actually pretty good at that. So this might be different than the internet where, a couple people in a garage can just code away and kill the world. It's as likely that a bank is going to have one of these brand new services because they get how to integrate those three domains better than maybe somebody else.
You touched on an interesting point just then. I mean, the blockchain space is full of kind of visionaries and libertarians as well as very pragmatic people. And
Pay close attention to what Chris Larson just said. This is huge. The banks already know their current system is completely broken, so they're actively searching for alternatives right now. Everything these days is about real-time payments and real-time value transfer happening instantly around the globe. And here's something crucial that I want you to understand. You never want to be fighting against the banks. The banks aren't going anywhere,
Despite what the Bitcoin maximalists keep trying to tell you, they're always pushing this fantasy that banks are just going to disappear one day and Bitcoin will be the only currency left in the world. That's completely false. It's the same misleading narrative when Bitcoin maxis claim that central banks around the world are loading up on Bitcoin. They're not. They're buying gold, tons and tons of gold. And here's where it gets really interesting. Gold is about to become tokenized. Imagine being able to move gold around the world in a matter of seconds for less than a penny. Once we have tokenized gold, you can't even call Bitcoin digital gold anymore because we'll literally have actual digital gold. But here's the smart play. Instead of fighting the banks, you work with them. When you do that, suddenly you're positioned right in the middle of all the banks moving all their money back and forth all day long. And that has always been Ripple's master plan from day one. They wanted to make sure they were positioned at the absolute core of the entire banking system. It's brilliant when you think about it. Instead of trying to replace the system, they're becoming the infrastructure that powers it.
So Johnny Deaton from the Internet of Money just posted something that really caught my attention. He's asking one simple but powerful question. How much was paid for this rewrite of history? Apparently, there's now a prison interview with Sam Bankman-Fried where they're claiming that FTX was never actually insolvent. Can you believe that? They're saying his story didn't end in that courtroom where he got sentenced. It continues in spreadsheets, balance sheets, and forgotten ledgers that supposedly tell a completely different tale. All of a sudden, they're switching up the entire narrative on Sam Bankman-Fried, and honestly, I'm really wondering who's paying for this revisionist history. Think about it. Sam could have taken down a lot of powerful politicians with him. Even Gary Gensler turned a blind eye to what was happening at FTX. But let's be crystal clear here. They were absolutely 100% insolvent. Someone is definitely paying to change this narrative, and I'm really curious to see where this goes. But here's some good news in all of this mess. The FTX victims are finally starting to get made whole. They're getting their money back, and I bet you a lot of that money is flowing right back into crypto. Why? Because once you become a crypto investor, it becomes an addiction. Once a crypto investor, always a crypto investor, right? And here's what's really exciting. Once people start seeing their portfolios climb again, they're going to want to buy even more crypto. Just wait until people start earning passive income from their holdings and can add to that income every single month by buying more crypto. I'm telling you, people are going to be building absolute empires in the future off their crypto holdings. It's going to be an incredible time to be in this space. But until that happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. All right, that's a wrap for this video. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. I seriously appreciate all of you. I'll catch you in the next one, and have an amazing night.